Sean said to us after the game that he told y'all, you can't get it back. It is what it is, but make sure you learn something. Now that you know had time to digest that one, what did you learn about yourselves?
I don't know if you ever fully digest a loss, but with every loss, I mean, even in every win, there's always a lesson to be learned. When we think about what we wanted to do, there were some communication problems that we had early on that I think we corrected. We walked into the fourth quarter. You figure it was what was the score 21-10. And we ended up losing 27-21. That's you put it on the defense, you put it on us not stop making enough stops. You feel like when you have a game plan, you would like to fully execute it, and when done so the correct way, you have sort of a compatible situation for yourselves in terms of execution to the outcome of the game. We didn't have that. There was something that fell off, and I think we addressed that and have addressed that today at practice. Whether it be some missed tackles, whether it be our D-line not getting enough penetration, we've got to be a better defense, and we're going to put it on us before we ever put it out in the world.
Was there something they did that surprised you that was able to get Jones better protection?
At the end of the day, not really. Again, it was more us than them. You look at the film, and there was a couple times we could have had some TFLs. They ended up making some plays. There was a couple times where it could have been, deaded before the first down marker. They made a couple plays. I mean, we've got talented people. At the end of the day, you can't ever, I wouldn't say overlook anybody, but you can't not dominate them all four quarters. You let them squeak by, you let them stay around, and then the fourth quarter they ended up winning. Ended up going in overtime, ended up winning at the final minutes.
From a pass rush standpoint, would you say that it wasn't good enough?
I can say all that I want to. At the end of the day, we lost. I mean, whether I feel any type of way about it, we got to be better from this point forward.
Did everything you saw, do you feel like it's all fixable?
Absolutely. I think that we've shown, in our wins how dominant we can be, and again in our losses we've also shown we're vulnerable. You can't ever show that vulnerability on a Sunday. Any given Sunday is for a reason.
So, and I know that the number of sacks doesn't necessarily equate to effective defending.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, how are you on the amount of times you guys are getting to the quarterback?
I feel like we can always get to the quarterback more. I mean, we're talking to a defensive lineman. I would love to have 6 defensive linemen on the field on any third down situation. But the moral story is we've got to be better as what we have on the field. We could always look for more. We could always look like why the scheme wasn't working here or there. We can always point our fingers out, but it starts with us. So it has to be on me. It has to be on whoever's on the field at the time, whether it be Malcolm Roach, Tano, or Carl Granderson, or Young Payton. It is what it is. We have to be better.
Is it harder to get to the quarterback from that 3-man grind? Is it or do you have better looks when it's 4 as opposed to 3? Is that kind of what you were saying there about the number of defensive
I'm saying we have to be better. At the end of the day, like I said, we could arbitrate all you want about how best to affect the quarterback. It starts with the D-line, so it starts with me.
The last few seasons, this is about the time when y'all put together a really good run. What's going to be the key to this team finding the consistency that you found in the past?
Probably winning.
Yeah. How do you get to that winning?
There we go. Our defense being sound. I mean, again, you look at the tape. It's a tale of two tales. Probably from the first 3 quarters to the quarter and overtime. You have to be a consistent defense. You had a lot of 3 and outs. We had a lot of third and favorables, and we have to have that the entire game. We can't let squeaky plays happen. They figure I saw 15 points to get put on the board from all of 3 plays. They had 2 long bombs, and we talked about not getting beat on anything cheap. We let that happen again. It's more us than them.
You said squeaky plays?
Explosive plays. Would that be the better term for you?
I was just curious as to why you used that word.
Because when a bomb happens, it's not like you're expecting that one, huh? It is what it is.
How are your yo-yo skills? I heard you were pretty good.
I'm not even going to speak on that because we're not trying to be a yo-yo type team. We're trying to be consistent. So catch me in the off season.
That was the message, basically. You don't want to be up and down.
Don't want to be up and down. You want to be a consistent level team. You always want to be climbing. To have a drop is not something you want to do. You don't want to be a yo-yo type team. That's what I got from it, anyways.
Yeah, in a matchup with Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones can get outside the pocket. How much emphasis is put from a pass rush perspective on containing and not letting guys get outside, and how effectively do you think you did that?
I mean, in this day and age, almost every quarterback albeit the one in the South in our division is mobile. So you have runners at quarterback. You know how to handle them. We face faster. We'll face faster, and we have to be better as a defense.
The guy Sunday likes to extend plays, make plays last a while.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like rushing in those kind of games?
I like rushing in anytime we're in a winning position. I like rushing in anytime we're in a third and favorable. I love rushing when we have 7 defensive linemen on the field. I love rushing if you have 1 defensive lineman on the field. And then, whatever it takes to win is why I love playing this game.
But do you look at it like this guy might give you more of a chance to get to him?
He also has a chance to make these explosive plays happen, as you saw on the Atlanta tape last week. For as much as he's exposed, he's also making explosives. So you have to be able to be aware of who you're playing against every week. And this week is no different.
You've played against Ron Rivera coached teams a million times in your career. Is there anything, like, a theme that you see for?
I mean, any team coached by Ron Rivera is going to be a tough, tenacious type team. He's one of those highly respected coaches that you know he's going to have his players' mentality in the right way. So we're going in for a war, and we're going to see, make it known that we're the best team from jump and play all 60 minutes.
How do you look at sacks versus, like, you personally, sacks versus, like, getting there, hitting the quarterback, affecting him, but not bringing him down?
I look at it at any time, anytime that one defensive end is demanding more attention on one side, the other side has to eat. It goes hand in hand. So if the left end is facing 2, that means the right end is probably getting a single. We have to be able to win on all of these. Our interior can play better. Our edges can play better. Like I said, when it comes down to it, it's just got to be on the defensive line. We got to point at us. We got to look at us, and we have to respond better.
Do you personally feel like do you have a sense of, like, I don't know the right word for it, but getting that first one and just kind of getting out of the way, like with sacks?
No, not at all. At this point, I won a Super Bowl, so I don't really care about personal accolades during season. I worry about that out of season. I'm more worried about how we're playing as a defense, how we stop this run. For the first time, I think this year, they averaged something like, 4 yards a carry? That can't happen on our watch. We have to be able to be better than that. And that was mainly due to the 2 explosive runs from the quarterback, and that's on the defensive line.
Cam, last season you only played 90% plus snaps like 3 times, and this year you've done that twice already. Is that something you wanted to play more, or is that just by design of the teams that you've played so far this season?
I mean, if it's up to me, I'm playing 100% of the snaps, but it's never up to me. That's beyond me. I just play.
And how have you seen kind of the rotation develop? Obviously this is a very deep pass rushing group, and does it kind of change throughout the season as guys kind of come into their own?
Repeat your question. Obviously, so
How-
what now?
The rotation, on the D line, obviously it's a very deep pass rushing group. Does that kind of build
It'll be
up?
even deeper once Marcus and David Onyemata come back, and then we'll have a little bit more flexibility. As far as our edge rushers, I think we have enough depth. And are able to get after the quarterback. And I think teams have responded with a lot of chips, nudges, and double teams accordingly. And still, at the end of the day, it's no point in griping about it. Whatever we're facing, we have to be able to overcome.
Have you seen teams try to go quick against y'all sometimes and get rid of the ball? It seems like the Giants specifically did that a lot in the second half this past week.
Was there a question in there? That
No,
sounded factual to me.
Have you seen teams go to that
Started
more
to
often
go
against-
to more of a
Yeah.
quick, or a normal quarterback will be at 7 yards at his depth, and against us he drops to 5 and climbs. Yeah, when you take it as respect, take it as disrespect, take it as whatever you want, it's something that we have to adjust to into the game and be able to affect ASAP.
When they're going quick? I mean, what's the
You got to win quicker. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's harder to defend, right? Especially as it's.
I mean, for the D line, if he's throwing quick, it means the ball is probably coming out low, so it should probably equate to more batted balls.